Lebanon's health ministry claims that Israeli offensive and strikes on Lebanon have now killed more than 3,000 people. The Israeli army is stepping up strikes on the Lebanese capital's densely populated southern suburbs. WION visited areas near Beirut that were recently hit and came across many who are taking shelter in the area after attacks in other parts of Lebanon. Watch this report from our correspondent Anas Malik.
This is the video released by the IDF, showing its soldiers, tanks and armored vehicles participating in a ground assault in the suburbs of southern Lebanon. The streets of the area are covered with debris and rubble from buildings pounded with barrages of missiles over the last many weeks, and there is no respite in sight. According to Lebanon's health ministry, the death toll from Israeli attacks on Lebanon has now climbed to 2,986 and the number of injured to 13,402 since October 2023. Dahiyeh has been among the worst hit areas.
Well, I'm standing in Dahiyeh, and what you see behind me is another set of destruction. This used to be a carpet store, as what we've been told, and it has been entirely razed to the ground. The residential compounds around it, the buildings around it, they've also suffered greater damage. And there's a dish that has practically been created that just gives you a sense about the damage and the amount of ammunition that has been used. While we are still not sure about the number of people who would have lost their lives, but this strike took place a week ago, and you can see the dish that has been caused due as a result of this explosion. And as we speak, even now there's strong stench. We can probably see that smoke coming out. So there's still stronger stench that is there, that can be felt up in the air. And residents from this area as well have now been forced to relocate and evacuate for their own safety.
The Israel-Lebanon conflict has displaced more than 500,000 people. Many residents of Dahiyeh say they've lost all they ever had, homes reduced to rubble, lives spent running from bomb shelter to bomb shelter. They say they've become refugees in their own land.
My name is Noor and I'm from the south of Lebanon. My house was destroyed and after that I came to Beirut as a refugee. The people here have been taking care of us. Part of my family was killed in the air raids. I came here with my son and my daughter. I love Lebanon. I cannot think about leaving the country. I hope I will be able to go back to my own home, but the situation currently is very bad, and I hope from God that we win.
My name is Shahmi Laike and I am from Dahiyeh. I came here on the second day of the Israeli strike on Dahiyeh. I came here as a refugee because I don't have a house. My house is destroyed. I have nothing. This place is considerably safe. We were not supporters of anyone, but now we all are Hezbollah. We want them to win, and I don't care at what cost. Naturally, the situation here is not good.
What you see behind me is debris, death and destruction caused by an Israeli air raid that took place about 10 days or so ago. It's an entirely residential compound that is not livable anymore. To the left or to my right, wherever you go, wherever you see, there's only debris that is just lying. There's a sofa that's lying, there's mattresses I can see, water pipes, sink, water tank. There's a car that's here to my right. There's a car, if you can see, which was probably in someone's use, cannot be used anymore. And people from here have been evacuated. Over 20 people are said to have lost their lives in this very airstrike that took place. Over 20 people were those who had lost their lives, who were here, have now been moved to safer areas, or they've themselves moved to safer areas, particularly in center of Beirut, hoping that is a considerable safer area, and now they're living their life as a refugee. Anas Malik in Dahiyeh in Lebanon for WION World is One.
And of course, for more, our correspondent Anas Malik is also now joining us live from Saida in Lebanon. Anas, we just saw your report. You are currently there in Saida on the ground witnessing the destruction that has been left in the wake of the strikes. What more can you tell us?
Well, we're standing in the third biggest city of Lebanon, that is Saida, or Sidon as they say it. And this part is Haret Saida. This has a population of about 80,000 people. And what you see behind me, this is the place or a venue of an air raid that took place 3 days ago, not far, just 3 to 4 days ago, where at least 9 people were killed, including 2 children. Now, Israel said and claimed that this was a Hezbollah weapons depot. We've been here, and this looks like a completely normal residential compound. We've been speaking to people who were here. We've been speaking to the shop owners. This used to be a 4-story building, and now it's been razed to the ground. What you see behind me is all rubble. There's a cot, there's a children's cot. I went there, is a dish that has been created as well. And the amount of destruction that speaks volumes itself. Now, people here, most of them have been moved to safer areas or have been forced to move, because now they do not have whatever that's left behind. They do not have a house which is habitable where they can live. But the other problem remains is with regards to the adequate supply. There has been aid coming in, yes. But the other problem, the aid is not sufficient. There is a water issue, there's an electricity issue, existential electricity issue here in Lebanon. At the same time, the other problem is this living under constant fear. There are drones hovering over and they're very close. This buzzing sound that you have to live by, that you have to live with, that's quite agonizing, and that just adds to the worries and woes of the people here in Lebanon. Isha?
Have you been able to speak to more people around? While the question answers itself in this case, what is the common chain of thought or the most common sentiment among the masses around you? What do they think is the way out?
Well, 2 things. First is that they want Lebanon to win. That's a given. They will not surrender. That's also a given. Irrespective of whatever the cost that they have to pay, they want Lebanon to win. Now there is no coming back. That's what people say, and they believe. They say that they've lost their houses, they've lost their families, they've lost practically everything that they built. Now they have nothing more to lose except for their own lives. So they want Lebanon to win at all costs. That's number 1. Number 2, in this conflict, since 7th of October last year, just yesterday, in fact overnight, the Lebanese Health Ministry put out the figures. The death toll now stands at 3,006. 3,006 people have lost their lives in 13 months. That's almost 7 people a day. So that is the sentiment that is there. That's one part of it. Second part of it pertains to what happens miles apart from here and today. That is the 5th of November in the United States. The outcome of the results, they believe that the US will force its closest ally Israel to stop its unilateral aggression on Lebanon, so that the people of Lebanon can go back to constructing residential compounds like these and can go back to living their lives as it was pre-7th of October or pre-30th of September this year. Isha?
Thank you so much, Anas. Certainly prove how pertinent the US elections are around the world. Thank you so much for that comprehensive and that invaluable report from Lebanon. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.